Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to introduce you to Minister Plenipotentiary Stefano Bianchi.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Ambasciatrice Peronaci, dear Director of the Italian Culture Society, Francesca, dear Maestro Noseda, distinguished friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Embassy of Italy and of Ambassador Peronaci, I'm glad to welcome you here in our beautiful Piazza Italia, which is once again the setting for the Italian Cultural Society's annual gala. And it's a true pleasure to us to have you here in this part of our evening where we are honoring one of the main Italian conductors who is here with us tonight. I'm relatively new in town. I've been here for 3 months now only, but already know that Italian Cultural Society holds a very special place in the Washington area and in the life of many of us. For decades, as one of the officially recognized cultural organizations supported by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, it has carried out indispensable work promoting Italian language, fostering cultural exchange, and connecting the Italian community in Washington with the broader American public through language courses, scholarships, and events. In 3 months that I'm here, I have myself already participated in at least 3 events organized by the Italian Cultural Society. So my personal thanks for making my life very pleasant and interesting here in town. I am therefore delighted to salute and thank the Executive Director and CEO of the ICS, Francesca Casazza, and the members of the Board of Directors for all you do. Tonight, we honor a man who embodies everything it stands for. Maestro Gianandrea Noseda, an artist, a conductor, a cultural ambassador. Thank you, Maestro. Maestro Noseda has brought Italian musical tradition to global audiences with passion, precision, and extraordinary artistic vision. Every concert he leads becomes a meeting place where people from different backgrounds share emotions, stories, and bonds with their deepest cultural roots. In honoring him, we honor all those who believe that culture can unite people across borders and generations. As Puccini, also the protagonist of this evening, as Puccini knew, and as we were reminded this evening, some art is made not for archives, but for the living moment, for the shared breath between strangers who become, through beauty, through harmony, something more. Tonight, we are exactly renewing that moment. So, looking forward to the event which will follow and to this wonderful dinner. Let me express once again my warmest thanks to the extraordinary performers who will share their art with us tonight, and to each one of you for your commitment to the friendship between our 2 countries. Enjoy this beautiful evening, and thank you so much.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Annalise Brody. I am the chair of the board. And I'm very, very happy to see so many people to support our cause. If there is an adjective that comes to mind to everyone thinking of Italy is bello, beautiful. In fact, this adjective is so overused that even us Italians got reprimanded by our great teachers. Yet, Dante himself fell into the trap by defining Italy as il bel paese. Il bel paese là dove il si suona, the fair land where the sea is heard. From then on, il bel paese has become synonymous with Italy. Il C, of course, is the Italian language, as most recently Diane Hales wrote in her essay entitled La Bella Lingua, the Beautiful Language, my love story with Italian. Therefore, it comes to no surprise that Il Bel Paese, country of La Bella Lingua, is the birthplace of opera in the late 17th century by the Florentine Camerata of Florence. Our language sings, and the practice of Italian opera singing was inscribed on the UNESCO representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity in December 2023. So we welcome you here tonight, and we welcome Maestro Noseda for being here with us. And now I call here the heart and soul of our Italian Cultural Society, Francesca Casazza. Please, a big applause.
Buonasera, benvenuti, good evening, welcome everybody. Thank you for your kind word, Minister Stefano Bianchi, and thank you to Ambassador Peronaci for allowing us to be here. Thank you to our board of directors and the Gala committee for your support. And this is our most important event of the year. It's a fundraiser, but it's always an occasion to teach something special about Italian culture. And every year we focus on a theme. Last year was the cuisine with Massimo Bottura. This year is classical music. And we honor Italian excellence, representative of this field. So we are thrilled to have Gianandrea Noseda and his wife Lucia with us tonight. Thank you for being here. We love to celebrate your successful career with you tonight. And we are also delighted to have the Scholarship Awards recipients here, and we look forward to listen to you and welcoming you and celebrate you for your outstanding results. So it's now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage our Master of Ceremony, Emiriolo, who is award-winning author, chef, television personality, and Cavaliere dell'Ordine della Stella d'Italia. Emiriolo.
Grazie Francesca, grazie a tutti. It's such a wonderful honor to be here with all of you tonight and to be here once again. I feel like I've known Francesca since she first started with the Italian Cultural Society, and I've been able to experience the growth not only of the society itself, but the influence that she and her team have had on the Italian community in Washington and on people who would like to be part of the Italian-speaking community of Washington. And it just continues to get better and better. And it's really a wonderful opportunity to be able to support a great endeavor like this. So should we talk about some of our sponsors?
Yes. So thank you to our platinum sponsor, Bank of America.
We also have our gold sponsors, Ferrero, Mediaset Italia, Bethesda Travel, Friedlander Meisler Law Firm, Leonardo, Olivieri 1882, and MSC Mediterraneo Shipping Company.
Thank you, thank you. And I want to thank the silver, the bronze, and the food and beverage sponsors, as well as our individual donors and auction donors highlighted in our program menu on your table. Thank you for making our work possible. And now let's see what it is that you are supporting.
Learning Italian is more than learning a language. It's discovering a history, a culture, and a different way of life. At the Italian Cultural Society, we celebrate many facets of the Italian culture: the music, the opera, the art, the literature, and the food and the wine. For more than 50 years, the Italian Cultural Society has been bringing the richness of Italian culture to Washington, D.C. and across the United States. Every year, thousands of students of all ages walk through our doors or join us online to learn Italian with passionate native-speaking instructors.
Ce le avete a casa le uova? Sì. Per mettere dove nella?
Pentula.
Our Italian classes range from beginner to advanced and include courses for children, workshops, and online programs. Our students don't just learn vocabulary and grammar here. They build friendships and share new passions for Italian history, geography, and traditions. Music is another language we share. From instrumental lessons to our children's and adult choirs, students experience the joy of Italian musical tradition while building creativity, confidence, and community. And of course, there is the culture of the table. Through cooking classes, tastings, and regional explorations, our students experience Italy through its flavors, discovering how food and wine tell the story of a country. Through partnerships with other cultural institutions, we organize movie screenings, concerts, art exhibits, and we bring people together because we are more than just about education. We are a vibrant community of people who share a passion for Italian culture.
Thank you, thank you. We are proud of the growing numbers of students, adults, kids, and from all over the United States, thanks to online classes, and to thank and celebrate the hard work and dedication of the teachers. Every year, we celebrate one of the teachers, and this year, the Teacher of the Year 2026 is Dr. Valentina Asciutti. We thank her for her professionalism and for her positive and kind personality. Valentina teaches to adults, teaches Latin classes and Italian classes for all levels. And to give you our award, I would call the teacher awarded last year, Fiorenza Castelli. Can you please bring the award to Valentina? Valentina, please come on the stage.
Congratulazioni, eccolo, tutto meritatissimo, congratulazioni.
Grazie Fiorenza, grazie Francesca. Thank you for this lovely recognition of my work. I don't usually refer to my job as work, as it's usually more of a passion that I get to share and enjoy with my wonderful students. Just a few weeks ago, with some of my students, we happened to come across a quote by Primo Levi about the importance of loving what you do for a living. So I thought that instead of trying to come up with something intelligent to say, I will steal his words, since he said it so eloquently, perfectly, poetically, deeply. So Primo Levi said, amare il proprio lavoro è la migliore approssimazione concreta alla felicità, which roughly translates as, loving your job is the best, most concrete approximation to happiness. In other words, if you love what you do, you have a chance at being happy. And yes. And that is so true. So I left Italy when I was little. I just graduated from uni and I went to the United States, to the United Kingdom. And what I didn't know back then, what was supposed to be just a one-year experience for a master away from home turned out to be a lifelong experience far away from home. So in Durham, in England, I met my husband, my American husband. So then we moved to London, spent 12 years in London, and then in 2015, my husband was transferred to the US, and we started our life in Bethesda, Maryland. London was not home, but didn't feel so far away from home. And when we moved to Bethesda, all of a sudden, Italy felt so far away. And I miss Italy. I miss everything about it. I miss my family, I miss my friends, but I miss Italy the most. I grew up in a beach town, so I love the idea of putting my feet in the sand every time I want, and I don't get to do it here. But what I miss the most is the idea of thinking in Italian and talking in Italian naturally. So thanks to this job, I actually get to speak in Italian every day. I'm fortunate enough to get to read articles that I would be reading in Italy with my lovely students, and we discuss about them. Thanks to this job, I am lucky enough to read contemporary Italian authors, and in the book club I run, we get to discuss about themes and characters and the Italian language. Thanks to this job, I get to explore the intricacies of the Italian grammar. And I'm a Latinist after all, so I love a good structured grammar. So Italy is far, it hasn't moved, it's still far away, but thanks to this job, home feels a little bit closer. And for this, I will be forever thankful to my wonderful students, to Francesca for her leadership, and for the Italian Cultural Society and its mission to bring the Italian language and the Italian culture into the homes and the hearts of so many people in and around DC. Grazie mille.
What a beautiful segue into the topic of tonight on the resonance of Puccini in Italian music. I'd also like to share a few of my own personal sentiments with you. Visi d'arte, visi d'amore, non fece mai male ad anima viva. Da Tosca, secondo atto. I lived from art, I lived from love, I didn't ever hurt a living soul, which is from the second act of Tosca, one of the quotes. If we research the life of Giacomo Puccini from 1858 until 1924, we'll learn that he was unique for his ability to bridge the gap between late Romantic Italian tradition and modern theatrical realism, becoming the most successful proponent of verismo, or emotional realism, in opera. He also developed a through-composed structure, as well as cinematic orchestration and innovation. But what's important to point out, even though books and online research don't often discuss this, is that Puccini was actually a very important ambassador of Italian culture here in America before we even had an Italian embassy. So Puccini passed away in 1924, and the first Italian embassy in Washington was built in 1925. An approximate 4 million Italians arrived in America during Puccini's lifetime. Many of these Italians were treated horribly and lived in not great conditions. Yet thanks to Puccini's music, there was another way to access Italian culture. They had something that they could hold on to, that they could be proud of, and someone who came from their homeland, but could also help them to experience joy, even in dehumanizing conditions. Many years ago, I developed a program called Puccini on a Plate, where I talked about this type of sentiment for Italian music and food and when new immigrants were arriving. My own opera aficionado, bisnonna, Michela Perri, immigrated to America from Calabria long before the days of the internet, and she passed down her love of opera to my grandmother. In those days when somebody would come from Italy, maybe to Detroit or New York City, and bring records with them from Puccini, they would then be able to get them to the littler towns, and people would come and sit around and listen on the phonographs to this music, taking pride in what their countrymen had the ability to create. Unlike most people who learned about opera in a classroom or in a music hall, I learned while I was baking bread and making pasta with my nonna. His music resonates with me in a very personal way, and one that's as comforting as food and family itself. This year's gala celebration enables us to witness firsthand the ability of his breathtaking works and to transport us through time into a world where each of us and each of our emotions are not only welcomed, but also celebrated. Tonight, we're honored by the presence of Gianandrea Noseda. Before calling Gianandrea on stage, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Carla Moreni, a journalist and music critic. She writes for Il Sole 24 Ore and is one of She's one of the most leading authorities in voices in music and opera. Please excuse me. Thank you. Welcome to the stage. It's wonderful to have you back. Would you like to say something?
Thank you so much for these beautiful words, and thank you so much to be here. What a wonderful word is this Piazza Italia. Really a big Piazza Italia. But now I'm alone. No. We have we have to introduce our maestro, il maestro, Gianandrea Noseda.
And now we'll have a glimpse at our honorary guest and his world.
Gianandrea Noseda is a fantastic person, a real artist.
He's a special man.
He brings the music to life in a quite unique way.
Who we are the result of the people we met in life.
All together, we are making our living through art and through music.
Noseda is such a passionate, involved conductor.
There's a flowing to his conducting. He's able to project onto 150 people, the orchestra and more, all with the motion of his body.
Che fa di quest'uomo un uomo specialissimo.
He is extremely powerful, an immense energy and strength.
My ambition is to put all the efforts and the talents together to get closer to the ultimate truth about any piece of music.
What he does with the musicians, the exchange, it's so powerful.
Abate, continuate, tacete, ripeto, tacete, è falso, è vero. Sì.
We have that give and take when I'm singing. Something exciting happens, something magical happens. Noseda is a marquee name. Everybody is very eager to see where he's going to go.
When you see him conduct and you're in the concert hall, you just can't help but be touched and reached by what he's trying to say.
If a heart is touched by the music and the performance, I think is my way or my perception how I can cooperate to the change of the world.
So, Maestro, we know each other from a long time, and so perhaps we have here the possibility to tell our Piazza Italia something about your life, your beginning with music, your passion, your secrets. How begins your love in music?
Wow, that is a difficult question. To tell the secrets is... Secrets are supposed to stay secrets.
Yes.
I started very young. I learned the notes before I learned the alphabet, but it's not a big deal because the notes are 7, the letters of the alphabet are 21, so it's much easier to learn 7 notes. And I was 5 and a half, and my father was a chorus master, amateur, not professional, but very, very good. So we had upright piano at home because he prepared his rehearsals. And as every kid with the upright piano at home, you go there to push some keys and to see how they sound. But meanwhile, I was playing football, soccer, with my friends, and I grew up very naturally. I had a very normal childhood.
Mm-hmm. And where do you study music in Italy?
I was born in Monza, where there is the Grand Prix Formula One, Monza. Yeah. But by accident, because my mother decided that to go to the hospital in Monza to give me birth. Because after that, we moved. When I was 4 years old, Clinica Masera. When I was 4 days old, she took me to Sesto San Giovanni, which is a small city. It's a city where I grew up, so it's a good city.
Yes.
Yeah. Next to Milano, and the name Sesto San Giovanni, Sesto means 6, so 6 kilometers from Milan. And there I grew up, and there still is, Civica Scuola di Musica, so a music school supported by the mayor and all the citizens there through their taxes. And I started there to play piano, to study piano. And interestingly enough, I had as friends, kids, that one of them is now the concertmeister of Santa Cecilia, and another one is one of the principal cello of the Teatro Comunale di Bologna, and one won an award for music for movies as a composer. He was a fantastic violinist. He had a problem with the hands, so he just became a composer. And so was a very good, another one plays in the Scala Orchestra, Claudio Mondini. So we were all this group.
A little group, but a special group.
Yeah, and after that I went to the Conservatorio in Milan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember. And when you decide, I will be a conductor?
I never decided. It's the life that takes you to this. No, of course, I studied conducting. At my time, which was yesterday practically, in Milan Conservatorio, to assess the study of conducting, you had to get the 7th year of composition. That means that you should be able to write a fugue in 10 hours locked inside a room.
Yes, this is...
That is the examination. So you are locked inside. So if you need to pee, you have just to knock the door. If someone is coming, unlocking the door, you go to the toilet and you say, please stay out, because you are really controlled. And after that, back and locked inside, and you have to write a fugue in 10 hours. The day after, you have to do a double chorus on the style of Gabrieli, 8 voices, in 10 hours, locked inside. And the third day, you have to write a romanza for piano in 10 hours, locked inside. So when you finish, you really need the sense of freedom, yes, and also to go to the toilet without having one outside checking you. The thing is that you are locked inside to do the examination of the 7th, and that is before you can access the studies of conducting. That at my time, now is different. You can start earlier. The thing is, the examination takes place in June, July. In Milan, it can be very hot. So we were all locked inside the rooms, but the windows were open. So you could hear perfectly what the other candidate was composing. So actually, I remember that we were just talking, just what are you doing for this contra subject? It's very difficult, yeah, but what are you doing? I'm doing that, but try to change something, otherwise they will understand that we are doing the same homework, not homework, the classwork. So I got this diploma, this examination of the 7th, And of course, you have to have a diploma for an instrument, any instrument, percussion, piano, violin, cello, flute, whatever, trumpet, French horn. And after that, you could assess the study of conducting, and that is what I did. That's why I started the lessons at the age of 27. Because before I was busy in piano, composition, musicology. And when I decided to study conducting, was just to make my musical formation and training complete. Because I always say that music is one thing, but you can approach from different angles. The point of view of a composer is completely different because you have in front the white page. The point of view of the musicologist is completely different. The music the music view of a soloist performer is completely different. And the point of view of conductor is completely different. You have one statue, a sculpture, but you look from 4 angles. And I wanted to know also how looked the statue, the sculpture, from the angle of the conducting. And when I finished my studies in half year, I won 2 international conducting competitions in 1994, one in France and one in Spain. But when I won the one in France, okay, I won a competition, international, 94 candidates. Okay, oh, good. Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. And that was 8th of March, 1994. But when I won the second one in Spain, 2nd of August, 1994, I thought, but Gianandrea, maybe this is your way to express yourself in the music, because it's not easy to win one after the other 2 conducting competitions. So after that moment, little by little, I started to give concerts as a pianist or making chamber music less. And because for the first 5 years, I tried to do both. It was a nightmare because you need to practice, you need to, I mean, only few people can do that. I couldn't.
Fantastic. And you remember what is your first opera in which you find you? So the opera that when you conduct it, you say, here I can express my soul, my capacity, all the hours closed in the little room in conservatory.
I don't come from the operatic world because I was, as a pianist, I was trained with all the Germans, so Bach, Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, Schubert, Schumann, Brahms, very few Chopin. And so I was more a symphonic-oriented conductor. Yeah, I still is. I still am I am still like that. And but I remember that opera when in 1978, at that time, Rai was televising the premiere of La Scala, 7th of December. Otello with Kleiber. And I started Carlos Kleiber conducting La Scala. I was watching television, and I told myself, okay, I look at the beginning. After that, after 5 minutes, it's more than enough. I couldn't stop watching until the end. And that was the first really big shock. I was 14. After that, my father started to take home some records. So was, I remember clearly, Don Giovanni, conducted by Giulini. And that was another revelation. I mean, was a turning point. And those was my end. After that, the third opera was La Bohème. And I remember that listening to La Bohème, recording with Mirella Freni, Pavarotti, Karajan, conducting Herbert von Karajan, when comes the line, sono andati, fingevo di dormire, I started to cry. Not when Mimi dies. that I already expected, because when you hear sono andati fingevo di dormire perché volli sola con te restare, ma una cosa ti voglio dire, una sola ma grande come il mare. You already understand from that line that she's not to live long. But the way Puccini came
Always
to this,
Puccini.
sono andati, fingevo di dormire perché volli sola con te restare, ho tante cose che ti voglio dire, ho una sola grande come il mare.
Usually
So
it's the
simple.
soprano who sings.
Yeah, no, not with this voice. And I thought, wow, this is real. This is real. This is how a young life says goodbye to life, with the lover next to her. I was probably 15, 16, in that age. So I started to listen to Don Giovanni La Bohème constantly, so probably are the only two librettos that I know by heart. No, I know several others, but the first one that I learned. And when I conducted La Bohème first time, I thought, oh, I know this piece. And when I conducted Don Giovanni first time, I thought, oh, I know this piece. I've never done before, but because of this came in my veins, in my blood. So when I conduct some Mozart or some Puccini or some Verdi, I think is talking about opera, my environment.
Thank you so much, because we feel, yes, I think. We heard in your voice, in what you tell to us, that it's a really emotive participation, no? To remember these first steps in the big world of the music, of the opera, of the symphonic world. And how was your first concert here in Washington with the wonderful National Symphony Orchestra?
Was in 2011. I was invited, I had as a soloist Radu Lupu, playing Beethoven Piano Concerto No. 3. And I had to complete the program, and Nigel is here. Where are you, Nigel? There. I think I did Manfred Tchaikovsky and a Ouverture by Smetana, the Ouverture from the Kiss, the opera The Kiss. Okay, so that was the program. Smetana Ouverture from the opera Kiss. Beethoven Third Piano Concerto with Radu Lupu, who for me was like to play with God.
We agree all.
Absolutely, even beyond. Yeah, I mean, it was stupendous. And Tchaikovsky, Manfred Symphony. And I had a very natural relationship with the orchestra, the normal way, very professional, to ask, to get, to receive, to react to what the orchestra suggested to me through their playing. It was a very successful one. I remember that week because in that week, Riccardo Muti suffered a heart attack in Chicago.
Yes.
And they were looking for conductors for replacing him. I got the telephone call here in Washington, so the following week, instead of getting back to Italy, I went to Chicago. I did, was not my debut because I already conducted before, was my second time I conducted Chicago Symphony. So the two cities are also connected by something that is not great, because Maestro Muti suffered heart attack, was fantastically cured and everything, but I remember that fact that put together the two things.
Yes, the big opportunity to conduct in the same time two wonderful orchestra. How is the principal characteristic of an American orchestra? What is the difference between Italian orchestra and American orchestra?
In general, American orchestras, very close with the British orchestras, are technically impeccable, sense of intonation, sense of rhythm, quick, super quick. But you don't realize what means super quick. Bam! Like that, and in function. Yeah, and technically very good. Also, with the National Symphony, I've been lucky because my predecessors, my closer predecessors, so I, Rostropovich, Slatkin, and Eschenbach, they brought their, their flavor. So Rostropovich was incredible in inspiring for Russian music and a certain sound, what I called the density of the dirt sound that I adore, because I served in St. Petersburg for 10 years at the Mariinsky. So that kind of sound. And the Slatkin, American conductor Leonard Slatkin, in that time he was a music director in the National Symphony Orchestra and principal conductor at the BBC Symphony in London. So in the two big capitals, and he's fantastic with rhythmical things, with the contemporary, with the 20th century repertoire. So the even complicated rhythmical patterns he could control, and the orchestra could catch this. So that's why they are particularly quick. And Eschenbach brought this Middle European tradition, so all the core of the repertoire. So when I came here, I said, what I bring? I can bring only what said Valentina, Italy. I mean, this kind of way of phrasing, way of singing with the instruments, even when you don't have the voices, to phrase, to breathe with the music. And I found a very fertile ground, so I could put the seeds on a very good ground. But in general, I found an orchestra very receptive. Italian orchestras nowadays are very good. The international level they achieved now. So I'm talking about some orchestras like La Scala, Santa Cecilia, Rai Torino. They are now of absolute international level. There are still things that a good Italian orchestra is unsurpassed. There is a certain way to play a melodic tune or something very quick and very brilliant, very brisk and brilliant, like some Rossini overture. Even second-rate Italian orchestra plays better than super gold medal first-rate other foreign orchestra. I don't know why. I mean, you go to the Berliner Philharmoniker to do Scala di Seta, Rossini, and they play fantastic. You go to Orchestra Regionale Toscana in Florence, and they play Rossini. That particular repertoire, no comparison.
Better.
And you don't know what is, but the Berlin is miles better than Orchestra Regionale Toscana. In certain repertoire, I don't know, probably because we eat tortellini, parmesan, parma ham. I don't know. I don't really know. Or Barolo. There are
yes, I agree.
People under 21. Okay, Coca-Cola, whatever. No, Coca. No, no.
Yes, sure, the food is an Italian element that gives particular inspiration, but I think that musician and the Italian language are very connected. And so the brilliancy of the Italian language, you can find it also in the music and Italian language. And Italian instrument, Maestro Noseda, you have a special affect, a special sensibility for old Italian instrument. What you can tell us about?
That is no doubt. I mean, the Italian instruments are the best in the world. Who could surpass Stradivari or Guarneri or Tommaso Bolestrieri? There have been many, even today we produce incredible violins, not compared with the old ones. I was curious because I like Italian excellence. So we are good in design, we are good in fashion, we are good in food, wine production, we have oil, we have some struggle with the French, that they think their wine is better, we think our wine is better, they think their cheeses are better, we think our cheeses are better, but we love each other because we love differences. And yeah, but when it comes to instruments, I mean, we are still one step higher. And I like, because it's our piece of art, this small string. I'm talking about stringed instruments, and not
Yes.
trumpet, French horns. I'm talking about violins, viola, cello. So I started to learn. I started to be passionate, and I decided at a certain point of my activity as a conductor to give back some of the money I earned in investing and buying instruments. But I'm not a violinist or a violist or a cellist. I am a pianist. So in my hands are a good piece of wood. I mean, you look and say, so good, beautiful.
Yes, you can hang on the wall.
Yeah, on the wall, and to look and say, oh, beautiful. And so I started to collect instruments, but I repeat, just to stay in my house is not important, also because they are alive, they need to be played.
Yes.
So I loan to the players of the orchestra. I started in Turin when I was music director of the Opera House in Turin, Teatro Regio, and I continued here. So now I have 12 instruments in the orchestra, in very capable hands. And the 4 players that will play the pieces by Puccini for quartet, they are playing my instrument.
Wow, this is really a wonderful surprise. And perhaps now we can hear this wonderful instrument.
I don't know where they are. They are supposed to be there, but I don't know if Francesca...
Perhaps we can, you have the program on your table, but we can read. We have a special program, really special program, a Puccini repertoire, and some pieces are never played here.
In America, yes.
In America. So Preludio e Fuga, 6 minutes, unpublished, US premiere. Gavotta, 2 minutes, unpublished, US premiere. Then Minuetto, 3 minutes, unpublished, published, rarely performer. And then Crisantemi, you all know Crisantemi. And you will answer the performance, but I will tell you the name of the instrument. The first violin is a Tommaso Balestrieri, Mantova. Alessandro Gagliano is for the second violin, very, very precious instrument. And then the viola is a Battista Ceruti, and the cello is a Giovanni Francesco Celoniato. All really a...
In 1 minute, the history. Tommaso Balestrieri started as a carpenter, but got to the violin making thanks to one of the sons of the Famiglia Guarneri. One of the sons of Andrea Guarneri from Cremona went to Mantova and started to learn, and nowadays the Tommaso Balestrieri violins are very sought after for the power of the sound. Naples, Alessandro Gagliano is the first of the Gagliano family who created a dynasty, because still in the middle of the 20th century there were members of the Gagliano family making violins. He is the first one, Alessandro Gagliano. Giovan Battista Ceruti is from Cremona. You have to know that Cremona was very famous for Stradivari Guarneri del Gesù, Guarneri, Famiglia Guarneri. But the thing is that in 1736, everybody was dead, and the sons of Stradivari survived only 3 years. So by 1740, finita la commedia. There is the second school by Cremona. Giuseppe Ceruti is one of these luthiers, so the instrument is from 1808. And the last one is from Turin. Giovanni Francesco Celoniato, he was playing principal cello in the orchestra where I served as a music director in Torino, of course, 3 centuries before, but was just playing principal cello. He was also a luthier, a cello maker. So I know exactly when the cello was done and where. Was 300 meters from the theater, but I found it in Boston. So can you imagine, it was just made in Torino. I found the instrument in Boston. When I bought, I took back to Torino. So I took back at home, and I could feel that the instrument was really absorbing the air of the place, and now he's in Washington. So he's just constantly going. So that is 1732, I think, is the year. I'm going by heart. One thing I have to say the name of the artist of the National Symphony Orchestra, also because all 4 I hired. I hired already 34 musicians, and there is Shishuan playing the first violin part, is here. We have Ben playing the second violin, we have Dana playing the viola, and we have Ray playing the cello.
And now it's time for the ICS Annual Awards. We'll start with the Maria Wilmuth Awards, which awards outstanding students of Italian in public and private schools, where Italian is part of their curriculum. The winners are Giulia Crispolzi from Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and her instructor, Laura Lodo Moltica. Welcome.
Buonasera, sono Giulia Crispolti Vagneron e sono una studentessa di primo anno a Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Innanzitutto vorrei ringraziare la Italian Cultural Society per questa opportunità. Questa borsa di studio contribuirà molto al mio percorso educativo e a mantenere vivo l'interesse per la mia lingua madre. Vorrei anche ringraziare la mia famiglia, che mi ha spinta a studiare italiano ed immergermi in questa cultura, non solo per la musica o per il cibo, ma soprattutto l'arte. Chi mi conosce bene sa che ho intrapreso gli studi di arte alle scuole superiori, proprio perché sono cresciuta circondata di arte da quando ero bambina. L'arte italiana ha influenzato il mio stile di disegno e di come percepisco l'arte. Infine, permettetemi di ringraziare la mia maestra mesmatica che mi ha incoraggiato a partecipare a questo concorso. Non avrei potuto farlo senza di lei. Grazie mille e buonasera.
And now I'd like to call Josephine Forrest from Walker Johnson High School and her instructor, Maria Grazia Cavallini.
Buonasera a tutti. Io sono molto onorata, mi chiamo Josephine Forrest, io vado a Walter Johnson. Vorrei ringraziare the Italian Cultural Society per questa opportunità. Grazie mille ai miei genitori e alla mia professoressa, signora Cavallini. Mi piace molto la cultura italiana e il cibo. E grazie.
And now I'd like to call Elena Adrete and Isabella Romero from Brookwood School and their instructor, Donatella Brown.
Buonasera a tutti, mi chiamo Bella Romero e voglio dire che noi siamo molto grate per aver vinto questo premio. Io amo l'Italia da quando ero piccola e quindi ho studiato a studiarlo da sola e poi avevo l'opportunità di studiarlo a scuola, per questo sono molto grata. Io sono innamorata con la cultura italiana e per questo lo so che sarà sempre una parte della mia vita, quindi grazie mille.
Buonasera, mi chiamo Elena Aldrete e vorrei ringraziare i nostri insegnante degli ultimi anni e in particolare la nostra insegnante adesso, la signora Brown. E sono davvero grata di poter fare questo video e vincere questo premio con la mia amica Bella. E, una delle mie cose preferite dell'italiano è che non è solo una lingua, è una cultura e abbiamo imparato tutto di questo quando siamo stati in Italia l'estate scorsa. E grazie mille per il premio. Buonasera.
Next, we have the Elena and Antonio De Luca Award, which honors the university student who has excelled in the study of Latin and/or Greek. The 2026 ICS Young Classicist Award goes to Dr. Joseph Turco in recognition of his scholarly achievement, particularly with the master's thesis, Unless the God Wishes, a study of Odysseus, evolving understanding of the gods in the Apology, in which he examines how Odysseus' understanding of the gods changes in Homer's Odyssey. His work reflects both academic excellence and a deep engagement with classical literature. Joseph, would you like to join us for a few words?
Thank you to everybody, especially to the Society for Italian Culture. Thank you very much. My name is Joseph Turco. I'm a PhD student at Catholic University in Greek and Latin. And although I'm just beginning my journey in the PhD in Greek and Latin, I'd like to, if you'd humor me, tell you a little bit of ancient history about my own family. 115 years ago, a young man, only 21 years old, saved all the money he had in the world and got I suppose, a voyage and a train ride to the middle of America for a better life for his children and his children's children, and for me, I suppose, his great-grandson. His name was Giuseppe Turco. He came from Sicily, and he never learned to read or write. He never had any type of education. But it's because of him and his sacrifice that I've been able to have an education and to study the two most important ancient languages from his own land, the eastern coast of Sicily, small town, Carlentini. I'm immensely grateful to my family, the Turco family, everything they've done for me. And I'd like to dedicate this award to the memory of all Italian Americans who have worked for a better life for themselves and for their children. Viva l'Italia, viva la Sicilia.
Next comes the Young Scientist Award, donated by Professor Emeritus and President Emeritus of the Italian Cultural Society, Ron Cappelletti. This year, we award two students. One is Dr. Francesco Iacovelli. Johns Hopkins University receives this award for his accomplishments in gravitational wave science, particularly his work on extracting astrophysical and cosmological information from gravitational wave detection and forecasting the capabilities of future experiments.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm Francesco. Good evening. I'm really deeply honored to receive this award, and I want to begin by thanking the award committee for this high recognition. No research is done in isolation, so I have to say that I owe an immense debt of gratitude to all my colleagues, collaborators, and mentors, both in the US and in Italy. Their insights, their partnership, and their guidance has been essential for everything that I've achieved. And I must also thank all my family and friends and my beautiful partner for their patience and their support through all these years. I'm an assistant research scientist at Johns Hopkins University and a Miller postdoctoral fellow, and as it has been said, my research mainly focuses on gravitational wave astronomy. Gravitational waves are tiny, tiny ripples in space-time itself, generated by some of the most violent events in the universe, such as mergers of black holes and neutron stars. They are so tiny because they travel billions and billions of light years, but they encode so much information. But the problem is they cannot be observed directly with a telescope. In a sense, we have to listen to gravitational waves. They let us hear the universe. Detecting them is very challenging. In a sense, it's as if we were trying to hear a bird chirping on the other side of the galaxy, and we can still do it, and we do it now on a routinely basis. And the story of gravitational wave detection actually is deeply intertwined between Italy and the United States, because the two observatories that are actually detecting gravitational waves now are the two LIGO detectors, one in Washington State and one in Louisiana, and a third gravitational wave detector, which is Virgo, near Pisa in Italy. And their collaboration has been essential for the development of all the field. My research mainly focuses on advancing and helping to design the next generation of observatories to be able to hear not only the birds, but also the bees on the other side of the galaxy, and to extract as much as we can astrophysical and cosmological information from them. What does it mean? It means that we want to learn how the universe expands and how some of the most mind-wobbling things that you can find in the universe, such as black holes, work. I'm a member of the Observational Science Board of the Einstein Telescope in Europe. It's the next observatory that will be built, for which Italy is one of the candidate sites, and of the Cosmic Explorer Consortium here in the United States. This is the counterpart, is the other experiment that is going to be built. What makes this award particularly meaningful to me is that it celebrates the bridge between Italy, the excellence in Italian research, and the innovation and research innovation in the United States. A bridge that I think gravitational wave astronomy overall really exemplifies. From the current LIGO and Virgo collaboration and the future with Einstein Telescope and Cosmic Explorer, my work sits really at the intersection between these two communities, these two realities, these two research traditions that are great, and I'm deeply honored to be part of it. Let me also say that this award is not just a recognition of my past work, it's also an encouragement to keep building these bridges and to push further to advance our understanding of the universe. So, grazie mille for this tremendous honor.
What an amazing night. It almost feels like we got transported back to the Renaissance, except with modern technology. It's just so awe-inspiring to listen to so much talent and so many inspiring people, one after the other. And now, Dr. Giulia Polano from Georgetown University, awarded for her contributions to understanding infectious disease epidemiology. Her research focuses on how human behavior and environmental factors shape the dynamics of disease spread using large-scale data and mathematical modeling.
Buonasera a tutti. It's an honor to be here tonight. So first, I want to thank the Italian Cultural Society and for this recognition and the memory of Professor Ronald Cappelletti. Professor Cappelletti was a physicist, as I am, as my background. I began my journey in research in Rome, studying at Università La Sapienza, and then I moved to Torino to study complex systems. So I really appreciate and I'm thankful to my Italian quantitative background who gave me the foundation to be today here. And from Italy, I moved to Paris. And I complete there my PhD in epidemiology and public health at Sorbonne University. And that was when I discovered that the tools of physics can be applied, like mathematical modeling, complex system, data analysis, could be applied to like most urgent challenge, like understanding how infectious disease, COVID, influenza can spread among people. And that became my passion, and is still today. I'm deeply grateful to my PhD advisor, Vittoria Colizza, for introducing me to the field of infectious disease modeling and shaping the scientist they have become. For the past 4 years, I've been based at Georgetown University here in DC, where my research sits at the intersection of human behavior, public health, with also a lens on climate change. And how this like changing our behavior and as a consequence, like infectious disease dynamics. I use disease data from mobile phone applications, smart thermostat, weather data, all of that together to understand how people move, gather indoor, like tonight, and can like, depending on our behavior based on our environment, and this is how can affect our exposure to pathogen. And 4 years at high level, I need to say, here in US, doing research, collaboration with leading US institutions and like private sector have been possible without the mentorship and support of my advisor at Georgetown, Professor Shweta Bansal. Throughout my career, my models have like directly informed public health policy. During the COVID emergency in France, we assessed social distancing recommendation, like lockdowns, curfew, when to like reopen, like they went to close schools, all this type of like public health like aspect that were very urgent, like in early 2020. And on the context on influenza, instead like in US, we are really working like most recently on understanding like vaccination programs. So when do we start to vaccine for flu? And nowadays like vaccination calendar like start like in late September, October, but like cases like actually rise earlier. So we are working to start like vaccination like earlier. So my research really read like and has a direct social impact. And that's something that I'm deeply committed that I wanted to share with you all tonight. To conclude on a personal note, I want to thank my family for their support through my education and the long distance that this career brings. To my husband who's here tonight, like taking a video of me, and I thank you so much, like especially for this career that demands a lot of long hours of work at night and like long-range traveling. And to our baby girl arriving this summer, she has already made me reflect on how important it is for our community to support the journey of motherhood if we want to close the gender gap in science and more in generally like in our society. And with this, I thank you everyone here tonight for celebrating and support the Italian culture. Grazie a tutti.
I have the pleasure to invite the last award, the Luciana Montanari Mendola Award for Pianist for a high school student donated by Silvana De Luca. The winner is Matthew Hung. Matthew studies at Winston Churchill High School, and he receives this award for his dedication to the piano performance and music education, including advanced training, participation in competitions, and performances in community and senior living settings, reflecting both musical excellence and a commitment to community engagement.
My name is Matthew Hung. I am a junior at Winston Churchill High School. And before we begin, I would like to thank my parents for bringing here and supporting me along my journey. And also, I would like to thank my music teacher, Ms. Jae-Won Lee, who is here in the audience tonight. And tonight, I will be playing Ballade No. 1 by Chopin. Hope you enjoy.